everybody, welcome
Hey
to our
everyone,
to our
what's going
first
on?
morning
Hello,
edition.
everyone.
All right.
As you can see from the blinding light that's blinding me.
Yep. Yep. All right. So I realize we're calling this the morning edition, and for a lot of you guys, it's the evening, the afternoon, something like that. But we figured that this was better than the wee hours of the morning or the middle of the night or something like that for most of you guys. So um, it's good to be able to uh, have a chat with everyone instead of just catching the few people that are from North America and South America.
Yeah, it's
So,
it's
Yeah.
it's really cool to get some old friends in here too, though.
yeah, and some new people as well.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
so we have quite a bit to talk about. I don't. I think many of you either haven't been around for our discussions of the Anomaly series, or I know two of the Anomaly series came out since our last discussion anyway. So some of you who may have been here last night will already know sort of what we're going to be talking about. But I think we're going to go through the Anomaly series and talk a bit about some of our theories around all of the drama that implies, and then we'll move over to our game for the day. All right. So
All right.
and then we'll talk about some of the other upcoming events and things in the server, drum up a little bit of hype for those things the way we do. So do we want to read through all of the Anomaly series again? Um,
Up to
sounds
you.
sounds like a time. Hopeful, do you want to kick us off with chapter 1 of the Anomaly?
Yeah. So let's jump into that. I might have an issue here, guys, with my headset.
Oh no.
According to what it's telling me, it
Oh.
didn't seem to have charged. So I have a plan though. I have a plan. So um Alis or Kruniak, go ahead and take Anomaly 1. And then the next of you will take Anomaly 2, and I'll go ahead and handle Anomaly 3, and that'll give my headset some time to charge, and I'll go ahead and moderate chat and hang out with people in the chat rooms. Um, it is a Sennheiser; it does charge rather quickly, so I don't foresee an issue
Okay,
throughout the
okay.
stream. But
We'll read slowly then. How's
well,
that
we
sound?
we got to get the connotation, we got to get the feel, right? We got to get
Yeah.
the
All right,
the
all right. How about
our new
this?
crowd
Alis
involved,
takes
right?
Alis takes
We
chapter
we did a
one.
really good read through
Um,
last night, so let's keep that trend going. I really like doing that.
yeah.
So
All right.
I'm gonna charge up. I'm gonna start moderating, chilling with people in chats, and whoever wants to take Anomaly 1, go ahead.
All right.
Anomaly 1 then.
Yep.
Dreams tore through the comms. Flashes of light, blinding even behind my closed eyes. Quick visions of hopes and dreams that would all be dashed to bits. This was my end, I was certain. Screeching sounded as metal tore. An explosion rocked the ship, then impact threw me into darkness. I don't know how long I was out, but when I came to, somehow I'd survived. Our ship, the Kagutsuchi, was partially on her side. A hunk of structural steel pierced through the floor in front of me. 1 foot closer, and it would have taken my life. The unpleasant smell of smoke and metal threatened to flood my mind with panic, but I gritted my teeth and shook it off. Still alive. Come on, Jared. Move. It's a nice introduction for a character, I must say. As we discussed yesterday, this is the character we're going to be building, right? So it is quite fun now that I know that. So let's continue. My hands found the belt release, and I slid out of the chair, racing as I hit the side of my ship with a thud. Still groggy, slow, but no time for pain. The grinding of metal pierced my ears, then a flash of sparks as the hardened doors to my office that was supposed to be impregnable were being pried open. With a clang, the doors flew open and the ship shuddered. The silhouette of a woman appeared. In stepped the slim and not too tall Captain Cat, a former Federation military woman who often wore a smile that could thaw the ice caps of a planet. At that moment, though, her jaw was set hard and firm. Jared, she coughed through the smoke that billowed in from the corridor. You're tougher than you look. Where the hell are we? I put a hand to my head, trying to stop everything from spinning. Hell if I know. You're going to be all right. I got you. If you say so. My hair feels like it's being slammed repeatedly with a sledgehammer. My money's on it spontaneously combusting any second now. I'll take that bet. Ain't nothing the Crimson Wolves can't handle. 1 minute we'd been with a fleet of other space pirates fighting to get to Mimir. The next, here. People had talked about wormholes, and at the moment, that's the only explanation that made sense. But if we had actually gone through a wormhole, I was going to lose my shit. She guided me out into the hallway where a few battered crew members were helping each other off the ship. Mostly men and women I didn't interact with. Bloody rags on heads, a few arms around shoulders for support. We all made it outside. A cat had us gather in a half circle to take stock of our situation. After she'd done a head check, she turned to the hard-as-nail killer named Hung, glaring at the hitman as if he wasn't the scariest person on board. Hung did his killing up close and hated tech, and at the moment was cleaning one of his knives. Hung, give me a citra, Cat commanded. Most are here. Hung didn't even look up, his voice devoid of emotion. Others might be in direction of those flames, or the smoke that way. I sat up, eyeing the two directions he referenced. One way I heard high-pitched howls, and the other, guttural clicking. Alien wildlife, most likely. What else? I glanced back at the horror of twisted, reinforced metal and the ship's gouged out internals reminded me we were in hell. We're missing most of our crew, Cat noted. Our best bet of getting out of here is Salazar, but he's worthless outside of engineering. Best bet of surviving until then, Bryn. Gotta have a dock after all. And this is not the Bryn that we know. Just to make it clear, it's a different Bryn. Our first step would be to get out of here and find our missing crew, with special attention toward bringing Salazar and Bryn back alive. Without either of them, we would be in trouble. Those who were able to walk only included Captain Cat, Hung, and myself. The idea was to split up and cover more ground. As they started off, I had to choose. Go with Hung, the badass who could handle himself if we ran into trouble, or Cat, the leader who I trusted to make smart decisions. Then again, maybe the smart choice was to head off on my own, covering more ground in case any of the crew had been thrown aside during the crash. Captain Cat looked over her shoulder at me. Jared, who you going with? So that is the end of Anomaly 1, and we already have the results. So you guys chose me and you, Captain. 57% of people decided to go with Cat. And so we have a little prompt here that says, me and you, Captain, I said, as Cat prepped the others in case we didn't make it back. She told me once about how to survive crashes. You had to be calm and decisive, and she had both of those qualities in spades. She motioned me to follow and started off towards the flames. If anyone's still alive in there, we need to be quick and avoid the heat best we can. Let's move. Alright, so we follow Cat. Are you gonna take it from here, Triniac?
I will. Just 1 second.
Apologies for having to get really close to the camera, because I have to scroll through the thing, and for some reason I can't get rid of my image here, so I can only read 2 lines at a time, and then I have to scroll.
Um, okay. So, let me just lower my desk a little so that I can be a little bit closer to my microphone while I talk and not be completely off screen. Okay. Okay. That should be a little better. Let me get Anomaly 2. All right. So, Anomaly 2. I followed Captain Cat toward the flames not so far off, confident I'd made the right choice. Always best to go with the leader, especially someone you can trust. She glanced my way and confirmed my thoughts by saying, "He's a brute, you know. Hung. Is likely to throw you to the wolves as slit your throat. But you keep him around. He's a hell of a weapon." For the 10th time since we departed, she tried the comms to connect with anyone other than Hung or those we left back at the crashed ship. When no reply came, she used the holodisplay on her forearm to scan for signs of life. Something is interfering with the readings. I can't make sense of it. Keep your eyes open. She wasted neither steps nor time, sticking to the widest paths through the flames and scattered hunks of wreckage. "Such a damn waste," she said, in a matter-of-fact tone. Many of the crew wanted to tell Montez to shove his plans up his high, noble asshole, but here I am, picking my way through the gutter remains of my own ship, searching for survivors. She looked back and considered me for a moment. "You and I need to stick together. Captain? I know how committed you are to the Crimson Wolves. We all do," she continued. "When a wolf is raised by the pack, he is hard-pressed to bite the alpha." A wild, high-pitched whine lengthened into a broken chain of half-second-long screams somewhere off in the distance. Not far enough for my liking. The forest floor was vibrant with purples and blues, but darkened by streaks of blood that told us more than one person had been dragged away, bleeding out as they went. She glanced down, regarding the red lines and pools where something might have fed. Her eyes scanned our surroundings. "Where are the bodies?" Activating comms, she added, "Hung, come in. Give me a sitrep." "Corpses," he replied, voice cracking. "None intact. No signs of Bryn or Salazar. We have blood, and a lot of it, but no bodies." Hung was silent for a moment. "With all these strange animal sounds I'm hearing, gotta say, you better be armed." Cat exhaled slowly. "I'm covered. Anything else?" "Came upon a large ravine, too deep and wide to cross. Something's moving in the tree line. Not human. Not sure if it sees me. Think I'll head your direction." "Find me a survivor. This time, look harder." With that, she disconnected. She checked her sidearm and pulled it from the standard flat gray Federation holster before reaching for the smaller one strapped around her ankle. A small, kinetic-based silver pistol, full retro, with the barrels vertically parallel to each other. I checked myself and clenched my jaw, annoyed that I hadn't come armed. A booming howl came from the Kakatsuchi's direction, adding to my frustration and making me feel very naked. The captain's pace had notably quickened. She stopped at a small clearing and held up a fist. More forest stood ahead of us, trees broken and smoldering. It looked like we would soon reach the tail end of the debris trail from the crash. "Before we go any further, let me be straight with you," Kat said. Captaining pirates requires a lot of trust, and a lot of trust in lies. I don't care what lies are told amongst the crew, as long as they keep everything running smoothly. But there's no lying to me. I completely agree. She stepped close enough that I could feel the heat coming off her body. You don't understand. I need to know you, the true you. She held the silver pistol out to me, but then hesitated. Even if we find Bryn and Salazar, there can't be any friction between us if we're going to have the best chance of surviving. Captain? Not everyone on the crew supported turning against Montez, but you. Did you support the mutiny? I didn't need to think about it before replying. Far as I could tell, he wasn't a wolf anymore. He was just an old dog who needed to be put out of his misery. You guys voted for that. How could you?
Absurd.
Slightly more than half of you voted for that. I can't believe it. Montez, though. Montez!
What does Questlog think about this? Because he's a fan, right?
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious
pretty
what some
sure Questlog is a fan.
OG Empire members think of deserting Montez.
I mean, we hated this guy before, and then he's sort of cool now. He's
he's your real emperor, right? He's the true boy.
No one said that.
No, you don't agree with that, Ayla?
No, not at all. Solus is unique. It's just Solus. There's no replacement.
Who's Pedal Emmer in the Discord? They said in Twitch, man, I hate it. I 1000% voted he's my Captain Lord. You know, Pedal, I'm gonna tell you that, you know, although I'm not Empire, you know, everyone knows this. Even as
that is Questlog.
It's Questlog. What's up, dude? Even as Federation, I gotta say, had I not missed this one, because unfortunately I missed Anomaly 2, and I was beating myself up about it, but I would have voted, yo, Montez is my pirate lord. What are you talking about? Like, I voted number 1 to go off on my own. Number 2, Montez would have been my pirate lord if Kat like came over on the comms, like, hey, Jared, what do you think about Montez? Just wondering over comms. He's my pirate lord, lady. What's wrong with you? Right?
So, you guys heard it here. It didn't come from me.
Shut up,
right?
Ayla. Shut up.
Hopeful said. Hang on. I mean, we need to make this very clear because we already know
No one
that
screen clipped that. No one clipped that.
Kruniak absolutely loves the Emperor,
No one clipped
right?
that. Don't do
But
that.
so far, Hopeful was on the sidelines, you know, just flirting a bit, but not really committing or anything. But now he just said, I mean, fuck you, Cat. I don't care you're a Federation person. I'm gonna go with Montez. I'm gonna go with Montez, the Pirate Lord. I mean, I have nothing.
Oh my god.
There's nothing more to say.
Don't do it.
Rest my case. It's the Empire. You can't complain about it any Imperial bias anymore.
Captain Cat has had her Federation views completely and utterly warped by the Crimson Wolves. She's no longer Federation. She's lost all semblance of what it means to be a free-thinking individual of the Federation. She's been twisted, and you know, bad things happened obviously in her time with the Crimson Wolves. And here we go, everyone. Anomaly number 3.
Somebody give this man the hook.
All right. So I'm gonna take it away while my headset still has life within it.
All right.
Anomaly number 3. So Captain Cat eyed me, waiting for a response. Where did I stand on the topic of Captain Montez? I didn't need to think about it before replying. As far as I could tell, he wasn't a wolf anymore. Just an old dog who needed to be put out of his misery. She considered me for a moment, with one eyebrow raised, then handed me the pistol. Her fingers touched mine in the process, lingering there before pulling the gun back. Glad you and I are on the same side, she said. This is just for show. Wouldn't hand you a live gun before hearing you out. She slipped it back into its ankle holster and pulled out a modern pistol from a holster at her back. Here. Be ready, or you'll end up just another streak of red on the grass. Jeez. Took the gun firmly in my hand. Counting for bounty was your old life. Out here, every wolf needs to bear their fangs for themselves and the pack. Copy that. You don't know how to handle it. You do know how to handle it, I hope. I was born into the pirates, not the opera. I know how to shoot a gun before I could count bullets. Didn't think ship Legistress had slightest clue about a scream cut her off. Hung? I asked. Another scream sounded, followed by erratic gunfire. Not likely. She gave me a weighing glance. Go ahead, take point. I gladly accepted her trust and led the way. Not 3 steps later, an explosion went off nearby, sending shrapnel and flames my way. My left arm stung, and I looked down to see a chunk of metal in my tricep, flames on my leg. Quick drop and roll sent pain shooting through my arm, but put out the flames. The metal would have to wait. You good? Kat asked, brushing away debris from her suit. I'll manage. Kat helped me up, and we continued to find. Let me do that. I'll manage. Kat helped me up, and we continued to find heavy weaponry scattered about. Our first mate lay pinned between a burning tree, twisted metal from the ship, wide-eyed and caked in blood. Captain, is that you? Kensuke, Kat exclaimed. You didn't see it? Hear it? Oh, fuck. You're gonna bring them back. They're gonna come back because of you. What's coming back? Corpses everywhere. A body pulled by something. Huge shadow on all fours. Then more. They came through the flames, devouring everyone. Help me get this damn tree off him, Kat commanded. I leaned into the smoldering wood, wincing at the metal still in my arm. The tree budged slightly, causing Kensuke to growl in pain. Multiple shrieks came from behind us, none of them human. In a sing-song voice, Kensuke belted out, "They're coming," while clawing at the ground. Leave him, Kat was already moving away. The crash, the creature, the explosion, he's fucking lost it. I shifted. Instead, trying to grab him and pull him free, I shouted, I can get him out of here if we just calm the hell down. He'd get us killed. She glared at me, eyes cold as ice. Time to prove yourself. Put one in his head. End his suffering. Was this a test? If I was telling the truth about being on her side, pulling the trigger would convince her of that. However, under Montez, we'd lived by a code. Fighting as a team meant never turning on one of your own. If we could find Bryn to heal this man, didn't I owe that to him? To myself? A glance at Kat's furious, challenging eyes told me I needed to make my move, and fast. The man had at least stopped screaming, glaring at us as we determined his fate. But the sounds from nearby monsters set my heart pounding. It didn't help that he suddenly leaned forward, lowering his voice, looking sane as he said, "She's a fucking traitor here, boy. She's the fucking traitor here, boy. Killer. You and I, we're survivors. Damn it. I needed to act, and fast." And so here we have our results, and we see that 47% gave their all. They followed Kruniak through, and they gave
Hell
their
yeah,
all to
man.
save this man.
The humanitarian. It's Elijah Burke's spirit. He lives.
So I wasn't about to let this guy die. Charging in without any care for my own well-being, I was determined to get him out of there, no matter the cost. Pretty zazzy stuff, and Jared is seeming like a stand-up guy, or at least that's the direction we're leading him.
A stand-up guy who doesn't love Montez, though. So, like, you know.
I hope Montez gets to him.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, and then he can report.
Questlog does not agree with your choice.
Man, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Man, what are you talking about?
Report Kruniak. Come on. To who? To who? To the Emperor? Like, you know.
Right. So can we talk about, because we didn't discuss this last night. Can we talk about why there's a Federation woman amongst these Crimson Wolves?
So the Crimson Wolves are actually much like
So
much
they're
like the
space
Union in a
pirates.
way. Like
Their leader was
they're
an empire.
yeah, only their leader is an empire noble,
Right.
a disgraced empire noble, an estranged empire noble, but they're actually made up of people from everywhere, Union, Fed,
Oh, I see.
Empire.
Right. Much like the faceless are made up of people from all over as well.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Um,
All
or
right.
we're guessing, we surmise like that part hasn't been explicitly confirmed yet,
right.
as this is now, as we find out that they are in fact on a forest planet. They are in fact made up of you know base faction members that defected for whatever one reason or another.
All right. For a moment, I was under the impression that Jared was a Crimson Wolves pirate, but not Cat.
So
But you
they're both
say
Crimson Wolves pirates.
Yeah,
she's
they're both
also
Crimson
all
Wolves.
right.
Yeah, but she used to be a Federation military officer, I guess.
Because it was weird. I mean, maybe she's new, but then she's captain, which is weird.
So I assume
Because
she's been around for
because
a while.
yeah, it was weird that she was surprised he could use a weapon or something, right?
Hmm.
It felt like they weren't that close. That
Not well
she
acquainted, maybe. Maybe he's new
yeah
on her
that
crew.
I'm surprised that you can use a weapon, but I mean, if he's a Crimson Wolves pirate and you're also Crimson Wolves pirate, then you should know probably that most of them know how to fight or something. So I was just, it was just an impression I had when I read it that she was just estranged with them, but she wasn't really a wolves pirate. She was something else. So I was wondering what could it be.
Right. Um.
Mm.
But that, yeah, that is interesting that they can just take people from all the other factions and
Right.
I imagine
do
it's
whatever.
similar to them, like passing by, right? And then they kind of like they probably visit Forge worlds and outer lying planets that are encountering strife and things like that, and they just offer a better uh, um, pathology, a
Right.
mythology, or a way of living, um, psychology, if you will. They just probably recruit people not by force, I would say, because that would, although they're pirates, right, and they're probably known for stealing Empire spices and Tonacom generators and probably tech from Ojin Kai and stuff like that. Um, they probably don't go about the universe cohorting and corralling people and forcing them to join the wolves, because then everyone would know where they are and they would constantly be hunted for their recruitment efforts. So it's probably more of like a passive recruitment effort, which is why you have so many different kinds of people coming together under this banner of Montez and supporting the pirate lord and his efforts. So they probably don't even understand what the underlying goals are of Montez, but that's usually how it goes. But they support
And
what
and
they
it
think
makes
his vision
sense.
is, which is
Yeah, it
probably
makes
a better empire in which they could all then, join this new empire, um, and have a voice or have a proper way of life, something. That's
Hey,
what I would
John.
guess is what Montez would offer these people. Um, because and I'm sure
it,
Luffy would agree with me, right? Like, just because you're known as a pirate doesn't mean you're a bad person. Um, Quite the opposite, right?
yeah, no, well, I mean, it makes sense also that, I mean, Montez hates the Empire. So, I mean,
Well, yeah,
a Fed could certainly jump on that bandwagon and just hate the
Right.
Empire too with them.
and just be tired of how the Federation deals with the Empire. It's just not a proactive approach, right? So there's like, no, I kind of want to take the fight to the Empire, or uh,
And they
you
don't
know,
even need to not have an allegiance with the Federation. They don't need to, I'm not associated with any faction. No, they just need to hate the Empire. They just need to hate the Empire. Because I don't know what the Crimson Wolves have done to other factions in the same way that they have done to the Empire. Because they
what isn't it
kill
known that they're
millions of
just
people.
a galactic terror? Like, they're just like a menace to all factions, right? They're constantly hitting all supply lines and trade routes and things like that. Um, so I want to say, like, although
That is true.
their
Yeah,
mission
that is
statement
true.
would be to, like, let's fuck on the Empire, but I want to say, like, they're not they're not biased to messing with the Union or to messing with the
Yeah.
Federation. And
Yeah. But I don't think we've had an event where they attacked those planets, right? As they did with the Empire. Or did we? That
Uh,
they actually killed many
well, they
civilians.
they did have the thing where they went after Mimir and took control of the cradle. So in a sense, that's really sort of an attack on everyone.
The UC.
Yeah,
I
the
see that
UC
as attacking the
and the faction
UC.
system really.
Yeah,
yeah,
but not
I don't know if
really.
to fight the power move because they specifically mentioned it. Montez is like, hey, you guys ready to go fuck with the council again?
In a
At the end of
sense, it
they're
almost
like,
seemed
Yeah,
like a play for
yeah,
their own factiondom
mm,
because
mm,
it would have given them control of a major artifact, and
yeah.
they would have sort of, by virtue of power, commanded the respect of full faction, or could have moved in that direction as a result of it. Which
And it's an unclaimed planet in an unclaimed region of space, right?
right,
It doesn't belong to any one faction.
right.
what, like where the Crimson Wolves
It,
operate
it
or
belongs to
Mimir?
the Saravars faction.
Mimir, I'm speaking about Mimir. I mean,
Well,
it doesn't
Mimir's.
belong to
I
a
don't think
single
it's
faction.
specifically in Federation space, but I want to say the Federation is the closest faction space
Yeah,
to
but it's
where they are.
outside. It's outside of
Yeah, if you had to
anyone's
guess, like
faction.
there's kind of like the Universe Council right in the middle. Then you got like the Union, like the Empire, and then like the Federation. I guess down here, it's
So I don't
probably like
know.
in
I don't know if you guys have
somewhere here.
noticed in storyline chat, but currently we're watching John type because he said, and meanwhile, and placed a very long ellipse, and so something is happening, and I didn't want to interrupt, but
He
see,
can watch from the shadows
now he
now.
has a gun,
Oh,
Oh,
there's
and
a
he's got
oh
shrapnel in his arm.
boy.
and he's got
Look,
his
look,
he's
he's
got his
got he's
shrapnel. Is his leg burned? Yeah,
uh
it looks like it is, but it's kind of behind in the way he's standing.
yeah.
He looks awesome.
Oh, he's got a
That's
head wound
really
as well.
cool.
So
Got
he's
a
going to
head
continue
wound.
to develop like this over the course of this story. Yeah, see, this is great. This is great. So, um,
That's really fun.
yeah, so I guess
That's a cool futuristic looking pistol.
come back next time for John's next update, I guess.
I mean, now,
Um,
now I have a whole different reason to vote specific ways.
to make him look badass.
I just want
Oh
to see
man.
how we can change this guy into something really interesting or maybe really fucked up.
Okay. So when we find the primordial alien ooze somewhere, he's got to drink it, so that he can transform into
Yeah.
an alien.
Oh, can you imagine that? Yeah,
And
that
if
would
we
be
find weird alien
fantastic.
eggs, we got to get him face huggered. Like Um,
Amazing. Amazing. All right.
yeah. Okay, guys, it's time to Leroy this man into next week.
Oh, now you guys are on board.
Oh
Now,
man.
now you guys are on board.
See,
Okay.
I mean, can you imagine if we voted to sort of put a bullet in this woman's head and just
I
kill her
did.
like
I
crazy
did.
fools? I would expect John to just render his face slightly more deranged as we go. So he's just
it just
suddenly a
make his eyes
maniac.
more cold and dead, you know? Like
His eyes just
Yeah.
get all like wide and beady. Like I've seen some things, man. I've seen some
Oh,
Oh,
it's
things.
that
okay. It's okay, Questlog. We
yeah.
won't lead everyone astray, we promise.
That would be quite fun. Yeah, this is my
Oh,
personal opinion. No one has to do.
Oh, jeez.
okay.
Yeah, but this is fun. This is fun. Seeing this guy grow will be fun.
Yeah, and thanks very much, John, for throwing that in here for everyone to be able to
Yeah,
see,
no, that
along
is awesome.
with the story experience. Maybe a different man by the end. Oh, jeez.
Oh boy.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well,
I can't wait.
so
Let's take him on the best journey. He says thumbs up. Let's do this.
yeah, for
Leroy.
sure.
He
So
gave us the
I
thumbs
think
up.
that the current understanding is that we're getting a new section and a new vote every Monday and every Wednesday. Is that how this is working? Um, so we'll have one vote that we don't get to cover in during the vote rather, and then we'll have one that we do per week, at least as long as that pattern holds. So um, yeah, we'll see how long this goes on and how much distance this covers before it ends and how long Jared lasts. But I would assume we can maybe keep this up for a couple more weeks. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the name very much, so maybe we kill this guy to have just a different sort of name guy.
We'll just kill Jared because we
Let's
don't
start
like his
over.
name. Jeez, man.
I wanna go back to character creation. I don't like the name very much. Maybe change his hair color a bit.
It's all
Let's
right. It's
just
all right.
kill
We can
him
find some
now.
hair dye somewhere, or we can burn his hair off, and then he'll be bald.
Woo.
Have a bunch of burn marks on his head. Yeah, I
There's
Just
mean,
real
many,
quick,
many ways it could
we
wanted
go.
to
it's
mention in the
unpredictable.
Twitch chat.
This guy could get really fucked up, man.
Oh yeah,
Like,
in
Yeah.
the Twitch chat, just wanted to mention I threw out the attendance form just a little midway through. I'll throw it out again a couple more times, but go ahead and make sure you filled out that form so we can ensure you get the participation points, everyone.
yep. And
Um,
remember, you're responsible for your participation here, so you gotta fill it out. Because last night we had like maybe half of the people who attended actually fill out attendance. So do it.
yeah, we
All right.
do like to make sure you guys get points. Don't make it hard
Don't
for us.
sabotage yourself.
Okay. So what I mean, did we want to kind of do a little bit of forecasting, right? Like what do we think's gonna happen? Like do we think Kat's gonna go, ape doo doo? Like is she gonna just lose her crap because he just completely disregarded her
That was a
challenge?
good
Like
prediction.
what is Kat
I
gonna
think that
do?
was. I think what you said was pretty good prediction. I could see that happening,
Well,
where she
Cat could just
just.
leave
that's just
us
a knee jerk
behind.
reaction, right? That's just the knee jerk reaction. But maybe who knows? Maybe she comes to and she's like, you know what? Actually, yeah, we this is Kensuke. We have to save Kensuke because why the hell not? He might merit some value further down the line. That's probably like her fed mind thinking at that point.
She
He
might
may
just
prove
shoot
useful.
him while we're trying to save him to like
Yeah,
force the
this
decision for us to
is.
leave.
Yeah, this is the what I think Hopeful said last night that I thought was an interesting prediction. However, as the writer, it would be a tough decision to make because you're giving people, you're saying, here's a chance for you to save this guy if you want to do it. And then everyone votes to save him, and the storyteller just, nah, and shoots him and kills him. So that there's a bitter taste in your mouth when that happens,
Right.
when sort of the storyteller just denies you that. So even though it is an interesting prediction, it would be an interesting twist, and we certainly it would
I'm
change how
sorry,
we
I gotta
view
stop you
the
right
story.
there. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Flobster. We got Flobster. He's here. He's in.
Yeah.
He's
All
made it.
right.
The real Flob is in the building.
Welcome, bro. It's good to
Yeah,
see you here.
we got the Europe folks are here finally at
Yeah.
last.
I'm so sorry, by the way, that it's been such a long time before we've finally gotten this back up and running. When we first started this, we did like two or three
Three.
sections a day. We do like a
Three.
faction specific one, and then we do like
Yeah.
an early multi-faction meeting and a late multi-faction meeting, and we just burned out super fast. And interest died down, attendance died down, so we ended up settling on one that worked for our collective time zone for the three of us, and turns out that it didn't work for like 75% of the interested viewership, which is a real shame. But here we are moving in, to some ramp up to season two, and we finally kind of kicked ourselves back into gear, and here we are. We've got your morning editions so that everyone from the European and Asian time zones can actually be here finally, and we can all nerd out about lore together at long last. But yeah,
Yeah.
so did either of you guys want to talk about at all the implications of like the Montez saga overall in season one, the mutiny, the
Kruniak,
any of that?
while I'm gonna go back to chat moderator like a simpy boy, unfortunately,
Uh,
headset chargy
okay,
boy.
okay.
I'm simping for my headset to charge hard. But anyway, why don't you take everyone through? Because I know we're not going to go through the kind of the trivia, the standard trivia that we did last time, right? Stumps is
Mm,
kind of going to be a little fun with this round, which we should get started somewhat soon
true.
to mention. So keep that in mind. But why don't you run everyone through the kind of the theories that bubbled up as a result of some of your trivia questions? Like run people through that thought train, and
Okay.
maybe we might get some interesting responses from the crowd.
Yeah, so I'm interested what all of you guys think. So our understanding of the Anomaly series, right, is that this is happening according to the announcement when it first launched, and maybe John or Justin could correct this if it's not right, but from my understanding, this is happening out of the fight, the chapter 2, the Crimson Wolves result, like vote result, where Ivana attacks the Crimson Wolves command ship, and you've got the anomalies as the various Crimson Wolves leaving, you know, and so or going and doing whatever it is that they're doing. But this is way back at the beginning of season one that this stuff appears to be going on, or at least that they went through some sort of wormhole, right? And so it would seem that the mutiny that they're discussing might imply that the Empire was able to get that the Empire was able to get a hold of the information or get a hold of the location of Montez's command ship for the Crimson Wolves because the mutineers gave it to them. That seems to be what's being implied here. It's not implicitly stated, but it sort of suggests that. Anybody else seem to have that thought process? And another thing is, while I was looking through other stuff, we were talking about Montez murdering his father and the whole clones theory and all of that stuff a little bit. Not so much related to the mutiny, but just about like Montez gets captured during this whole mutiny battle and all of that. And then there's that whole thing with the Ides episode where Julius Lycanus gets stabbed and 10 minutes later he dies from poison. But during that time, and in no way is it ever suggested that it's a paralytic poison, he never calls for help, which would imply that given that he was killed by his son, he didn't want to call for help to either save himself or get his own son caught. His own son that he threw in jail, I might add, or that his family threw in jail. So, like, what's going on there? Because during that episode, it gets literally glossed over. It's like, yeah, it's a little weird that he didn't call for help when he was kicking for like 10 minutes. But that's not the weirdest part. Let's talk about the weird part, and it's like everyone forgot that happened. Um, so like what gives? The best we could really come up with was that maybe it's just like my own son has decided to stab me with a poison knife and maybe tell me something like, he never loved me or whatever. Who knows? Or you're not my real dad. Who knows what he said, but in the end, he's like, I guess I deserve to die, and I'm not calling anyone. So,
Well,
like,
we also discussed the shock, right? To
you sure?
see someone that couldn't ever have been there because he knew that he was being held. in a place that you couldn't possibly escape from.
Right. And then
So just
also,
seeing him, seeing what had to be him because he had access to the genetic, sort of lock that he had. So he had to be him. But how could it be him if he was locked up in that dungeon?
yeah,
So I
and
think that
so
that that might have brought about some revelations to him that the Empire has some cloning thing going on that no one knows about. It's something really mysterious, and that could be, yeah. So we're thinking clone for sure. Now that we saw Kudo's investigation, and we finally get to see, that thing Sanai spotted, and she contacted Kudo, and he's there analyzing both emperors, and then she's seeing the twitch from this guy is the same as the twitch from the real Montez. So he's just putting those two things together, and it seems to imply that the emperor has been alive for 500 years because he's been dying, but he's been cloning himself forever.
right.
So the emperor is also a clone, and at that moment he didn't have the Austria because he didn't have time or maybe a chance to go to his own dead body, get his Austria back,
He
and
had time to
kill
put on clothes though,
Gloria.
which we discussed
Oh,
at
for
length.
sure. But I mean, if wherever that clone is, there's probably like a wardrobe for him to just
True.
leave as dignified as possible, because we don't want to see him
We
butt
don't want
naked
Free Ball and
anywhere.
Solus striding on to murder anyone.
We don't.
As
We
much
don't.
as apparently I would love that.
Yeah, I mean, as I
Oh
said,
well,
you
whatever.
love Solus. You love Solus even more than I would want you to be honest.
Hey man, I've seen Bucks'
But
shirtless pics of Solus before,
you do
so
you.
as has everyone. So like, I mean, who could pretend that's not compelling? Um, all right, so like,
I mean,
is there is there
the
really much
whole
else to
mutiny
say,
thing.
or hmm?
The whole mutiny thing is an interesting thing, is an interesting new development.
Right.
That while that was happening, there was not only were they already going to Mimir, we had guessed that they had shards because they teleported at that point, and it was something way too similar to Mimir for them to not have any knowledge of Mimir. And then we saw that they knew how to activate the cradle, so we knew something was going on, but it was interesting to see the confirmation that they were already going to Mimir at that point. But to have a mutiny was something I was not expecting. That within the pirates, there was a group that was splitting off from Montes for some reason.
Yeah,
And we
it's
don't
kind of
know
strange to see
what
that,
reason.
like, during their introduction, even. Like, we didn't see that that was what was happening, but it's like
Yeah, we
Montez, the
didn't. Yeah.
Pirate Lord, he's getting mutinied on as we speak.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah. That was a
It's
there was a slight
weird.
problem there. Yeah. And it was interesting also what you pointed out, that might have been the reason Ivana managed to capture him as easily as she did.
Right,
Not
because he was
only because she
served to
was
her.
insanely talented as a commander, but he was also not as surrounded by ships as he could have been if they hadn't fled.
Right.
Right? So that is an interesting theory, that it was easier because of the mutiny.
And
It was that is cool.
I wonder if there's anything at all that the players did or suggested or voted on previously, because there was only like one or two votes previous that
Yeah.
might have influenced whether or not that mutiny was even going on. I don't think we did anything.
No,
We
I
had
don't
like
think so.
one vote, and then it was the Crimson Wolves vote. So I guess that was just
Yeah.
sort of like a given. The mutiny was going on regardless of our choices. And the thing is that, like, because of the way that it was framed, the mutiny could be a retroactive storytelling choice. Because, like,
Yeah.
circumstances allow it to seem plausible without you necessarily needing to have thought of that at the time as the
Right.
writer. So like
Yeah, it's
it
not it's
could
not
be a
implausible.
retroactive thing.
Yeah. Either way, it's fun. It's a fun development. I
Yeah,
I like that was a problem there. That there was something else
it
also
deepens
happening.
the understanding of the faction or the sort of the sub faction thing that is the Crimson Wolves. It gives them a little bit more depth and
Yeah.
a bit more
Just
intrigue
like
to
seeing
explore.
that. Yeah. Just like seeing that Montez is not just a mindless killer, a psychopath. That he has a slightly deeper purpose, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, John, I gotta say, you got some great people working for you. Like, honestly. Tell them that we all love everything that they do. But, yeah, so do we want to move into a game for the
Probably.
next half hour or
Yeah.
so? All right, so guys, some of you will be familiar
That's
with
as long
this.
as I have.
Yeah, some of you will already be familiar with how this works, and some of you have no idea what's happening. But that's fine because it's very simple. All you're going to do is you're going to come up with your trickiest lore question, all right? And you're going to post it in the storyline chat, and you're going to react to your own message with a red question mark, like like this so that we can see it very easily. And we're gonna do maybe what do you think? The first 10, we'll run through. So the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
10
So just to,
questions that people post, we'll run through. And this is a game called Stump the Chumps, where you guys try to come up with lore trivia questions of sorts that we can't answer. So
right.
if we
Yeah.
know it off the top of our head, you get 15 points. If we have to look it up, you get 20 points. And if we cannot figure it out in like what do you think? Maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. If we can't figure it out in
Yeah.
a reasonable amount of time with all of our best efforts, then you guys run away with the first prize, and that's 25 points for you. Good job. All right. So let's go. And also, hello, Justin. Welcome to the Twitch chat. Great to see you.
I would encourage John and Justin to also, think of questions
Yeah, come up with some
for
stumpers
us.
for us if you want.
Maybe some stuff that only you could answer. I would love to see that.
You stop it. You
Come on,
stop
Luffy.
fishing, A-list.
Um, Also, I just want to extend an invitation to Justin and to John. If either of you are interested in like being part of an interview series that we want to start on this channel, um, please reach out to us in DMs or via email or whatever, which we could send to you in DMs.
I mean,
So yeah,
we
so
could honestly just talk in mod chat, right?
yeah,
We
or in
could
the mod
if
chat or
at all
something
the
like that.
interest is
But
there. We were talking to Sheer Cold. He was interested in getting
yeah,
on and talking to us about what he's doing, like his masters and things like that.
yeah, because we
It
would
would
love
just
to
be
have you
super
guys
super
on
cool
to
to
talk about
have
all
community
stuff.
hosted interviews. Yeah.
All stuff Planet Quest or not Planet Quest. Like I'd love to just like talk movies with John or
Oh yeah.
talk writing and talk shop with Justin. Um, I think we had already talked to Don to see if he wanted to come on and do a thing, and we're still talking to him. And Sheer Cold, yeah, we've got Sheer Cold lined up for our first our opening episode for that.
Oh, that
He's
wow.
up for it.
Awesome. All right, we'll have to work out a time. But
That's
that
super
sounds
sick. I
great.
mean, yeah, obviously, like at your availability, the workload and sprints probably leave you with not much availability.
Yeah,
But
it's looking like our interview series is going to be a weekend series at the moment, or
right.
like a Friday morning kind of a thing, or Friday about this time slot kind of a thing maybe. Um, so if we can find one of those that'll work for any of you who are interested in being on and chatting about stuff, that'd be great. All right, so what do we got right now? We've got one, two,
So we have
three.
3 questions so far, and we're waiting, I guess, for 7 more, and we'll see where we're at,
We can
at time.
start on these while they're here and run through them as people come up with them. Um, just to
Oh, awesome. That's so again, same thing, Justin. Like at your availability, right? We know you guys are extremely busy, actively working on sprints, actively working on milestones of the project. So coordination is open completely on our end, and we're just honored to be able to host that and be able to talk to you folks. Planet Quest related, not Planet Quest related, get the community involved with asking some questions too, all that good stuff.
all right, and yeah, so would Friday weekday this time slot be able to work for
Nice.
you then? Because I think that's what we were thinking for our interview series time slot. But anyway, let's get through a few of these questions. I think I see one, two, three, four, five, six. Yeah, we've got six so far, so we're doing good. Let's get started, and hopefully you've got a sheet up and ready for taking down winners.
Yep, that's
Okay,
all ready to
so
go.
so one Heda, who is the one who said that this was the first time he had had a direct conversation with the honorable council members, and that is going to be Hunter Yin. um, I'm fairly certain that that's a Hunter Yin right there.
Wait, how was it phrased?
Who was the one who said that this was the first time he had had direct conversation with the honorable council members?
Direct conversation with the honorable council members.
Let me see the question. And what was your answer? Or let's just off rip, Kruniak? What did you
Yeah,
say?
I'm pretty sure that it was Hunter Yin who said that. And did we get it? Um, I'm trying to figure out
I'm pretty sure Wanheda is with us. Yeah, absolutely.
is Wanheda answering us in the Twitch chat or in
It's so
Storyline?
the answer is Hunter Yin. So
Yeah, okay,
just
yeah.
to
Yeah.
add some context for the event. So Stump the Chumps and any trivia that we host, it's always hosted for our PQ community. It's hosted in the PQ server, in the Storyline chat, right underneath General. So we
Yeah.
ask that you ask the questions in Storyline, and we'll also answer. We'll type out in Storyline if we do type out answers, but we'll probably more than likely speak them unless someone is incapable of listening in. Then we'll speak in the channels.
Yeah.
But this is in the Storyline channel in the Discord.
Yeah, these quizzes
Um,
and things that offer, passport point rewards and stuff are a
right,
PQ community privilege kind of a thing. Um,
right.
so let's see. What's our next question? So you got that one, right? For the
Yeah,
sheet.
let me put let me see where that question is. That's Juan Hayden. Let me grab this.
Yep. Okay.
And
The
man, Juan Hayden,
location,
just a
date, and
stand up
designation
guy,
of Hunter
honestly.
Yin's message. Well, I remember the date. The location was the best damn lab in the galaxy. The date was 3 days since my last shower, and the designation was something like "because fuck you," like it's something like that. Um,
Well, it wasn't because fuck you. It
no, it
was
wasn't
something
because
like
fuck you,
that.
but it was because it was something like that though.
Eat me or
Oh
something.
yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was
Eat
like
me.
eat me. It was something like that. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Is that close enough? Does that count? Eat it.
Eat it. Yeah.
uh,
Who asked this one?
this was Solat's.
Juan Hayden got third, right? You
Yeah,
got
he,
the
he got it.
thing.
He got a third
Okay.
prize.
Okay.
Best damn lab in the galaxy. 3 days since my last shower and eat it. Yeah, okay, we're pretty close, man. That counts. Um,
Yeah, that's a good
what is
one.
the rank of Yang Chen? And I was just reading Yang Chen's communication from the Crimson Wolves episode the other day, and I can't remember. I think he's like Commander Yang Chen or something, but it's like commander or like lieutenant commander or some kind of other designation along with that, right? Do either of you guys remember?
Yeah, yeah. Yang Cheng was that Roche 7 squadron person, right?
No. He's the guy who's like Ivana Crane absolutely whooped ass. Oh my god, I was like nothing I've ever seen before. That guy.
Oh, that's a different one then? Hmm.
What did Solats get? What place?
Third.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I
No.
can't. I have no means of accessing the story here, so it's just memory.
Okay, we,
And
we're gonna have to we're gonna
well,
have to look that one up, unfortunately.
yeah.
Isn't it Hunter? Oh no, Yang Chen. What's the rank
Yeah.
of Yang Chen? I want to say Lieutenant Commander.
You asked this one before?
So
I
it turns out Yang
I
Chen is
remember.
Squadron Roach 7.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's that's the
that
same
was
thing.
my answer, but that
Captain.
is
Okay,
not
Yang Chen is the
his.
captain of the Cossack.
Yeah, that my the question last time was where he belonged to. It wasn't his rank, I don't think.
Captain of the Cossack. Yep. Yep. Okay, so that's 20 points for Luffy. Well
Oh,
played.
Luffy got us on the 20. All
Well
right, all
played.
right. Well played, Luffy. Let me
All
go
right,
ahead.
so the next one. So that was 3, and now this is 4. Quest logs. Do we have any idea what the Faceless are planning to do over at the Bastion? Oh yeah, okay. Quest log. You're right. Slight misunderstanding of the assignment here. Um,
We can always speculate, right?
but yeah, we can definitely speculate. And basically say no, we have no idea what the Faceless want with the Bastion. um, at least as far as I'm aware. But you can write another one if you want. Because yeah, I mean, we don't really have any information about that, do we?
I don't think so.
Okay,
We can
okay.
imagine that they don't want the Ojin Kai to take over, but other than that,
Hey, yeah, no worries about this because like this is a game from the other time slot and we would do this one last, so it'd be very very late for some of the people who would try to stay up for some of it. So um, it's going to be new for a lot of you guys, but you'll get used to it. It's a good time. So JH asks, who is the young girl that is tending Lucille Whitlock's wounds in the epilogue episode, I believe? And I can't remember what her name is, but she is an Empire girl. She's like either very very young teenager or she's like 12 or 11 or something like that. Um,
yeah, she was
don't remember what
rescued
her name was,
from the Empire.
so we might
Did
have to
she
look
have
that
a
one
name?
up.
I didn't know she had a name. I
She
don't
does.
remember her
She does
name at
have a
all.
name. I want to say it starts with like I want to say it starts with an A, but I don't know if that's true. Um, hmm. Let me take a look. Epilogue. Oh,
Yeah, I don't remember her name at all.
epilogue part 6, epilogue part 5. Oh, wait. Is it in the epilogue or
This
is
is
it
not.
it's
No, this is not the epilogue.
it's
This is one of those.
Requiem.
Yes. Is it Requiem? Yeah, it's one of those where there's three different
Okay, yep,
things.
here we go. Dum. That's Emmett, Lucille, Mere, Mere. A young girl in her early teens, covered in tattered imperial robes, is sitting next to her. The girl
All right.
is tending carefully to Lucille's wounds. So yeah, okay, it's Mere. Um, so that's 20 points for whose question was that again?
This was JH, I think.
Okay, yeah, you're right. It was. And then the next question: Gates of Time. Is there a way to detect if one is a clone or not? And the answer to that is like technically no. Sleuthing, yeah, you can work it out, but there's no discernible difference between the clones, at least on a genetic level, as per.
That is a tell though. That would be a way. If you have two people that look identical, if they're genetically identical, then they're clones. They're not twins. So that is a
Right.
way to find out if it's a
Oh,
clone.
that they are a clone and not a twin. Ooh,
Yeah, that is a way. That is
that's a
the only way, I'd
complicated
say.
question, but I think we've pretty comprehensively covered the answer to it. So
If
it is,
that's all we know about this
yeah,
right
it's
now.
complicated, but yes and no. Question mark. Depending on whether or not you have both of them in a room, the answer changes.
Yeah, you need a
Outside
way to
context and
compare the two.
external knowledge to know.
Yeah.
So that is a third place for Gates of Time. Um, Okay, and Mikey is asking why Kat wanted to kill Kensuke when she was the one to tell Jared that they should be working as a wolf pack and be as one. My expectation of why Kat wanted, and this is more of an opinion question.
So
There's no,
Kruniak, one second, real quick. First, what did we decide for Gates of Time? What are we giving Gates of Time?
I think a third place because we didn't have to
Third
look
place.
anything up to answer that question.
Okay, so let me make sure that I have his tag correct. That's number one. And then you missed Flavi saying something right above that. It
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
technically
okay.
like a
So I
like
was
a
gonna get to
question,
that a
but
little
maybe you want to
later,
mention something about that.
but I will mention it now. So Flofster asked, not a lore question,
Second
but
place.
if we had perhaps uh, spilled a little bit of tea about an upcoming event. And so I figure, I might as well talk about that now.
Well, we can wait till after, just so it's fresh in everyone's minds, right? I didn't want
Okay.
Flav's question to just get passed over, right? So it's fresh, something special we're gonna
So
mention.
yeah, just be aware
Um,
that there's a little bit of tea spilling about an upcoming event, featuring Flofster and all of us as well. Will be involved in that, and it should be very familiar and very exciting to some of the OGs here. But yeah, Mikey was asking about why Kat would want to kill Kensuke when she was the one saying that they all need to work together as a pack of wolves and blah 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 blah. And this is sort of an opinion question, but from what we can tell, this appears to be because, like,
Two reasons. Two reasons. She
probably
wanted to
because
test. She
Kensuke
wanted to
is,
test
yeah,
Jared
go
once
ahead.
again. Wanted to test Jared once again.
Right.
And two, further ensure her own survival by not carrying on dead weight. Who?
Yes, but
That's
also if Kensuke is a Montez loyalist and Kat was involved
mutiny,
in
which
the
seems to be
mutiny,
the case.
then it creates a further danger toward her control of Jared as sort of the muscle of this operation, right?
Right.
Jared is for Kat a resource, and so in the interest of protecting that resource, bringing on someone else who might deprive her of that resource would be
Well,
dangerous to
similarly
her
to what I
person and her
said, right?
survival.
Yeah, Kensuke would be dead weight. In other words, it would
Yeah,
be like a liability, so to
yeah,
speak,
yeah.
to
More a
Cat.
liability than even dead weight.
But I think even more than that, he at first she was interested in saving him, but once she realized that he was gone, he was sort of deranged when he was sort of singing he's they're coming or something like that. She just said, I mean, this guy is gone. There's nothing to do
Yeah,
here.
and we
We
should
just need to
also
go.
harken back to when Jared was talking about how Kat had gone over how to survive a shipwreck, and it was about being decisive. and making the tough
Right.
decisions and doing what needs to be
Yeah.
done. And this would be an instance of being decisive in the interest of self-preservation.
At that point, I think she saw that there was no use in trying to save him anymore. But she didn't immediately got there, saw this guy and said, put a bullet in his head. She didn't do that.
Right.
Well, I mean, I feel like this was a great question, but it's rather speculative. So
It
I
is.
think a second place.
Yeah. That
Keep
seems
that
reasonable.
in the middle.
What's the number of the conference where Gloria was strangled?
Oh boy.
Oh, that was the aftermath of Ragnarok, or what was the name of that? I could give you the name. I can't give you the number. I could never. I can. I'd need to memorize the numbers of these things. So these.
Well, we know we had 33 conferences, right? Was that the
So
final
they
number?
started on like 23.
Right.
That's the
No, it
thing.
was
Is that
even earlier.
first one
I
was
think
like
it
the
was
23rd conference.
was it the 23rd?
Uh,
Hmm. I would guess that it was the 29th or 30th conference. This is my guess for this one.
wait a minute. What was the
But we
number
have
of
to
the
look it up.
conference where Gloria was
Anyway,
strangled? Gloria was not strangled at a UC conference. She was strangled in the capital.
She was
well,
strangled
that
at the
is.
Imperial Forum. So I'm wondering.
I mean, that is true. She was giving an imperial address, so that is true. But I guess the question is just, trying to just trying to wonder
I
which
had to. I
conference was
had
the
to.
closest.
Um,
I think we would have to look it up to see.
we would have to look it up to take the question as it was intended, but I do like the technicality um, quite a lot. I would just on principle give that 20 points just for being cheap about the technicality. Um, the
All
traditional
right.
strategy game from the Empire. Sparrow asks. Wait, is this another question from Sparrow? Did he already ask one?
Uh, no,
No,
I don't think
no, he
so.
didn't.
So
Um,
Alexei, what did Alexei get?
how? Alexei, I said 20. 20 seems
Okay.
reasonable because we could figure it out easily if we looked it up, but um, the technicality makes me happy, so I'll just give him 20. Um, how many are we at so far?
We have
I don't know.
7.
5,
That's 7.
7.
7. Okay, so sparrows will be 8. What is the
Correct.
traditional strategy game from the Empire? Alice, do you have any idea?
They said it. That was in the same. This one's actually in the epilogue. I know that. This one is actually
Which epilogue is it
Yeah.
in? Is it in
the
Montez's?
Emmett and
No,
Haley.
Emmett. Yeah.
Emmett and
They're
Haley.
watching kids
Remember
play
watching the kids
something.
play that game? What's
Oh,
that game called? It's like a
it
ring
has a
around the rosy
name?
game
And
or something.
it was a variation of a game that was originally
Traditionally from
from
the
the
Empire.
Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Onion Ball.
So
Onion.
I don't remember the name of
All
that
right,
game.
all right. I'll bite. I'll look it up.
So you have to look it up.
Oh, bite.
And it was an epilogue, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Montez. Emmett.
It was Emmett's.
Most likely have taken to themselves play on the steps leading up the plateau. Engrossed in the game they've fashioned out of rocks and mud, they barely notice his presence. He raises an eyebrow. To his surprise, he recognizes the setup. It's some Union variation of Cadius, a traditional strategy game from the Empire.
Yeah. So
Cadeus?
that is.
Cadeus,
How is
maybe?
that?
C
How is
A
it
D
spelled?
D E U S.
I see.
Um,
Cadius.
all
Yeah.
right, so we've found
Cadeus.
it. That's a solid second place. I had no idea that it had a name. I glossed right over that, I guess. Um, Interesting.
I couldn't remember that. I had glanced over it not a moment
Yeah, that
ago.
name,
Hey man,
that
well
name, I
spotted
couldn't
though.
remember that.
Big props for finding that. Where is our next
Next
question?
question.
Next question was from Freeman. Which ship was ripped apart by the anomaly when the council voted to stop its advance? Ah, shit. Um,
Panopia?
no, it wasn't that
No, this is
anomaly.
not
It
the
was when the
Panoply.
anomalies were expanding and we were like,
Oh,
stop the anomaly, and one ship got broken, and it was like an
Yeah.
A class thing.
mm-hmm.
Um, you guys don't remember, do you?
No,
Not the name. No.
not the name of that ship. No.
Shit.
That story though. Let's see.
You have to go to that one.
Yeah. What was it called?
After that. Hmm.
I mean, we
Okay.
have to, Freeman, because otherwise you couldn't win. So we have to. We have to pretend that we don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all right.
It's all
I
right.
feel like I asked a question or somebody asked a question like this recently. Yeah, yeah, I asked that question a while back. Um, okay.
And you know what's funnier is if they take too long and can't find a reference, so you actually stump us and you win.
That's what
Number one,
that that's what
first
it's looking
prize.
like right now because I can't find this. I can't find where this is. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
So okay.
It should be in that anomaly chapter, right? It should be on the one that's named as such. At least very close to it.
The void. No, this is when we send the Panoplia to its death.
Yeah, it's after that.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's a third place for this.
Wait. Oh, okay. Something about.
If we can remember it from memory, you get 15 points. Yeah. If we have to look it up, it's second place, 20 points. And if we can't answer at all, it's first place.
The Finch's spear.
Ah, stop the anomaly's advance versus
I just
flee
got
from
it.
the
The Finch's
anomaly.
spear.
Oh,
Class
it's
S ship.
Finch's spear is the one that got destroyed.
Yeah, it was struck by one of the tendrils coming off the anomaly.
Okay, okay, we got it, we got it. We're safe. 20 points. I'm never gonna forget that now.
Very close. It was very close.
Man, Freeman almost
Almost
stumped
ran out of
us.
time. Jeez, dude.
I was about to call it. I was
Giving
about
me
to
a friggin'
say
heart
you had to
attack.
take it too long.
Alright.
Golly.
See? Don't think bad of yourself, Freeman. Don't give up. You can do it.
Okay, so was
It doesn't
that
have to
question number
be that hard.
9?
Let's see. Yep, that was 9.
And then quest log. How many subjects were in the first test of quantum infusion organized by the UC? Wasn't it like 51?
That's a
Hmm,
good guess. 51 is a good
I
guess.
I
54?
liked Flovster's
54?
question.
54 could be 54 too.
I I want to say 54 for some reason.
I feel like it's 51, 52, or 54. But
You can only pick one, and then
But
hopeful
my
picks
guess,
another.
my guess was 51. Hopeful's is 54. Are either of us right?
Bro, this guy. Who got it? Who was right? Me or
It's
Krudiak?
51.
Oh,
Okay.
Krudiak got it. All right.
Okay.
Good one.
All right.
It
I'm
was
sorry.
one
I'm
or
sorry,
the other.
Questlog. Um,
All right, Questlog. That's 15. Let's do Flavs. I think Flavs
Flobsters
is the
is the
last one, and
last
it's
one.
the
What was the
11th
name of the woman
question.
Kestrel
So
found in the caves on Mimir? And I believe the name is Selen.
It's Sarah's
yes.
friend, right?
I think Selen was the one that he finds. Um, there's a few other named characters from that, but I think that Selen's the one that he finds.
I wouldn't have guessed Selen. I would have thought it was a different name.
Stop reading the story all day. I think it's Selen, guys.
It
Oh
looks
man.
like it.
Okay.
Well, I would have gotten that one too, Flavi. Like, so you were
Yeah.
stuck both ways.
I've asked a lot of questions about the crew that's down there on Mimir with her. So, um, okay.
Yeah, we trained in this. These
Yeah,
guys
that's
are
why
doing
it's called Stump the
trivia
Chumps.
every week.
We're not chumps for nothing. All right.
All right, so that was 11. That was Stump the Chumps, everyone. So hope you had fun.
Yeah.
And that way, for next morning edition, you'll come prepared, hopefully, with some killer questions and maybe some stumpers for the chumpers. Come on, let's go.
Yeah. A lot of people prepare for this just to mess with us.
We can also sort of revert the order of events too, so that we can give morning people the chance to do trivia, and late evening people the chance to try to stump us. So we can also try to
Yeah, we can flip it. So
flip it.
sometimes we might decide to do, morning edition will get traditional trivia, and evening edition will get Stump the Chumps back in case people from one or the other misses something, or,
Yeah.
or want to try that again. So yeah, but we won't tell you when we switch it. So if you come up with stumps and you end up with trivia for your particular time slot, then just save it for the next week, because you never know.
Yeah, alternating it would be fun, so that people don't feel like they're missing out on something because they can never be on
Right.
on one or the other.
And it would give
Right,
someone
right.
other than Boppy a chance to succeed at trivia. So
Can you imagine Buffy's face when they say, "Well, today we don't have any trivia"?
no,
He's like, "Okay, I'm out.
no, my
I'm out of
points.
here. I'm gonna."
Yeah, anyone who's
Yeah,
already
it's like-
done attendance, you don't have to do it again. It's
Yeah, I
just
just wanted to mention I
repost
just
to
put it
catch
up,
anyone who doesn't have it yet.
It won't let you fill out the form twice, so if you haven't done it, then you'll be able to fill it out. If not, then you're good to go. Don't worry about it.
Alrighty.
Well, do we want to go into like mentioning some of the end
Oh,
line stuff?
yeah,
and-
I wanted to just briefly go over some of the stuff that's ongoing. Jupiter's faction cultural bonanza is going on. We've got. Oh, I seem to have frozen.
I can still see you moving
Yeah,
and
I
talking.
can still see it.
Oh, I'm still good. It's just okay. It's my own screen. So the faction cultural bonanza is going on with season 2, part 1, or week 1, which is just create heraldry, and so for the empire you want like house banners and things like that. For the unions, it's like clan signets and stuff like that. It just symbols for the sort of the faction guilds, right? Or like corporation or corporate logos and things for federation groups. Go wild with it. There are some templates and suggestions that he's got in the rules, but it's a very simple competition. It's an art contest, like almost any other. It's just to create faction specific heraldry and like logos and stuff like that. So go forth and tear it up, guys. It's a great contest, and I highly recommend checking it out because it's and you can make whatever you make and post it all over the place too, because it's judged by, well, it's winners are chosen by judges. Also, same kind of thing with Flobster's upcoming Volcanic Week for his Bestiarian Botany contest. There, he's moving to judges to choose winners as well. So if you create a really cool post, feel free to promote it as much as you want, bring in more engagement with that thing, and don't feel discouraged like you don't have enough friends to cheat votes off of. Just do your damnedest to create something awesome, and it'll probably do well. I had made a note to advertise the morning edition, but we're here right now. So yes, come to this next week. Next week it'll probably be on Wednesday morning. We moved it to Thursday so that Alis could be here because he had something yesterday. So it'll be on Wednesday morning instead of Thursday morning like today. Most weeks. I just wanted to let everyone know that maybe not tomorrow, but the next Friday, we should be looking at having an interview on here with everyone's favorite writer from season one, Sheercold. He's got a lot of stuff going on, and we wanted to ask all about it. So you should be able to find that here. We'll be sure to put up an event banner when we've got everything nailed down, but look forward to that and don't miss it, and make sure you tell everyone. Also, yeah, to touch on what Flofster was talking about earlier, there's a new super secret writing contest that we're not going to give too many details about just yet, but the three of us, your favorite lore crew, are going to be the judges, and when it comes time to talk winners and things like that, we'll more than likely announce them here. In the same way that you saw the greeting card contest and things, rundown. So
Yeah.
we'll probably read through everybody's entries and things that are winners. So keep an eye out for that because it's going to be really cool. And then there's the one last thing that I forgot to do yesterday is hopefully I'll let you take it away. Shill our socials.
Yeah, yeah. So sorry, everyone. We kind of I dropped the ball with this, right? So it would be very, very helpful, right, to get your support not only here on Twitch, right, but also on our social media, the HGG Twitter page, which I believe there's links here in Twitch, right, Kruniak? They
Yeah,
can see
if
that from
you
the
are
main
on a
page.
PC, you can scroll down from your view of us right now. You can just scroll down on the page, and there should be tiny little symbols in the description thing that have like the Twitter symbol, the YouTube symbol, and whatever
Planet
else we
Quest.
have.
I
Uh,
think it's Planet
yeah, there's
Quest
a link
for,
to Planet Quest's
yeah.
website as well for people who have no idea what's going on here if they just like filter in randomly. Um, but there's a few social medias. Be sure to click on those, and it should direct you to some of our other stuff, to our YouTube and our Twitter, namely. But yeah, if you would click on those and follow them or subscribe to the YouTube channel, you can find our episodes on YouTube a few hours after. We'll get those all sorted out for you. So if you miss one and you want to see what we've said and what we've talked about for some certain thing, if there's a vote that you're like, I don't know what to do, and we've already had a discussion about it, you can go to our YouTube and you should be able to find the episode there. Okay. Um,
Aside from that, there was just a little bit of conjecture on the back end. Something else, Jupiter was cooking up. So it's shaping up to be something that I think is really, really fun. It's gonna be I think it's gonna be order judged. So it's gonna be judged by a panel from the Rex order, which is very cool.
mhm.
So that's something that we might potentially start seeing in other events is panels of judges from specific orders, or maybe a mixed panel of judges from many different orders. But the event is sure to be very fun. It's inclusive of our pioneers for sure. So that's something to look out for. And what else? I guess that's pretty much it, right?
I
Catch us
would I
next
would
week for sure
just
on the next one.
encourage a slight amount of I don't know, prudence in making sure that you follow the Twitter, because the Twitter is probably where we're going to, for now anyway, have a lot of our
Yeah.
announcements about some of our upcoming plans for events and things before we have nailed down an exact date and time. Because we won't be posting about it in the PQ Discord for like some of those things until we have a perfect date and time, but we will at least let you know that there are some things upcoming over the Twitter. So if you
Right.
follow that and keep an eye there, you can get some information a little ahead of time. And I very much encourage any of you, any and all of you, to bring in other people that you think might be interested in these storyline discussions. we want to grow these events as much as we can, and make sure that we have as much following here as we can, so that we can create more fun events for you guys, right? Because the more people we have in here, the easier it is for us to justify more effort and more engaging events. So
Right. Yeah.
do your best and spread the word, I guess. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. So with that, shall we say farewell?
All
Yeah.
right.
I think that's about all we had for today. We ran a little short, but for the most part, we'll stick around for what, about an hour and a half, 2 hours
Yeah,
each
something
each
like that.
episode.
This one
Yeah.
was a little shorter, but we should most of the time have the ability to crank out a couple of hours of mind numbing drivel. But yeah,
Awesome.
anyway.
Thanks, Barrow. Appreciate that support, dude.
So we'll see you
It
all
was
next week.
it was great to see you, Morning folk, everyone from Europe, everyone that could never have attended before.
Yep.
Thank you for coming. It was fun. Thanks, John, as well, Justin, everyone from the team that are always listening.
Yeah, John and Justin, thanks for the special pop in, right? A lot of our mod squad is here too. Thank you guys for that. Love the support. Um, and yeah, we won't take up any more of your time. Everyone have a great day, great evening. And we'll catch you next time for the next episode.
Alrighty. See ya, everyone.
See you guys later.
Peace, dude.